Nightmare Areola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, so over the weekend, a few of the heavyweight prospects picked up victories. One fight that I just watched was the Zhang Zhilei versus Curtis Harper fight. Now, some of you probably remember Curtis Harper from the fight he had with Chris Arreola. Pretty entertaining slugfest, part of one of the PBC cards a couple years ago. Harper, since that fight, he hasn't been in the ring. But one thing I can say about the Zhang Zhilei fight is he did come into the fight, I believe he was close to 25 pounds less for this fight. So he came in, he dropped a lot of weight. Zhilei got him out of there in the first round. He hit him with a straight left hand that wobbled him. He didn't see it coming. During that first, it was a first round knockout, but during the first round, I kept saying to myself, like, man, he keeps leaning over to the right, which is right in line for a Zhilei left hand. Zhilei was landing the left hand through his guards. I thought Harper, he was throwing some wild, like, overhand rights. And that's because I thought that Zhilei was doing a good job of keeping the distance on him. And Harper was just trying to get in range, just trying to find his range. I thought he should have did a little bit more with his jab. And tried to set up that looping right hand. I knew he was trying to do. He was trying to catch him over the top. It's a tall fighter. And he did land a good right hand, Harper did, when he was against the ropes. It was a counter right hand. But to me, he was in good punching range, and that's why he landed that good shot. And then, but yeah, in the first round, he got caught with a left hand. He was bending down. He didn't see it coming. He got clipped. And then he got up. He stumbled into the corner. And Zhilei went to his body, and he set up a right hand. It was like a right hook that knocked Harper down. Harper gets up. He stumbles all the way to the opposite end, the furthest corner. He stumbles all the way down there, and then the ref stopped the fight. I thought the ref, at least from the camera angles, it looked like as soon as he ran into the corner, it's like the ref just stopped it. I thought the ref should at least gave him time to walk to him. When the ref tells you, take a step towards me, at least give him that, man. But he just stopped the fight. I thought the fight could have continued, but he was hurt. I mean, he did get hit with a good left hand, and then the right hook put him down. So he was hurt. You know what I mean? But I thought the fight could have continued just to see what he has left. But Zhilei goes on. I believe he's 16-0 now. I believe he's 16-0. And I see the WBO, their new rankings came out, and he went from number 15, I believe he was, but now he's number 13. All right, so he's from China, and he's a guy that's trying to, they're trying to build his career here in the States. He has fought a few times in China, and all his rest of his professional fights have been here in the U.S. So, guy's a two-time Olympian. He won he got a silver medal in 2008. Made it to the second round of the Olympics in 2012. 6'6", 250 pounds. He's a southpaw. There's something there to work with, man. So I want to see more of him. And since he's, being marketed here in America, there's some good fights that he can have with an Andrew Ruiz. And some of these guys are actually rated by the WBO. Andrew Ruiz Jr., who's number 4. Jarrell Miller's number 5. Dominic Brazil's number 7. You got Luis Ortiz, he's number 10. But I think Ortiz is trying to just wait out for his title shot with the WBA. And then you got Amir Mansour as number 15. I know some of these guys are rated by other sanctioning bodies also. You got Dillian White at number 8. So the UK, the US, I think he right now needs one of those type of fights. And even if it's not a guy like that, maybe like a Travis Kaufman, a Chris Arreola, Andre Fedosov, a guy who was in the WBO rankings. I believe last time he was. But I know he's rated by one of the sanctioning bodies that I can remember. Trevor Bryan's another guy. Maybe if he were to go up to Canada and fight Oscar Rivas, it seems as if Rivas cannot get a license here in the U.S. His last 2 fights he tried to get here, he couldn't pass his eye exam here in the U.S. The fight for Amir Mansour, then he had a fight with Gerald Washington. Both were canceled because he failed his eye exam. But it seems as if up in Canada, he always can fight up there. So, and it seems as if he passes all the eye exams up there in Canada. All right, so maybe, Zhang Zhilei can go up there if that's possible. But there's, some other prospects I'd like to see him fight. If not, like I said, fight one of these dudes in the sanctioning bodies if his team feels as if it's time for him to step up and take one of those types of fights. But if he's looking for another prospect type of fighter, you know, you got guys like LaRon Mitchell. I mean, look at a guy like Arthur Spilka right now. Spilka's coming back and he will be fighting in July, I believe July against what's the dude's name? Adam Konavsky, undefeated Polish fighter up there in New York. You know, so then you had Dominic Brazil when he fought Isil Gono a few months ago on the Wilder versus Washington undercard. So, you know, maybe that time for him to step up. Some of the other prospects have that had way less experience than Zhang Zhilei. So maybe it's that time for him to step up and fight one of these ranked fighters. I'm curious to see what the WBO is going to do as far as, you know, trying to make some title eliminators here or match some of these guys up. But I'd love to see Zhang Zhilei fight any of the guys that I mentioned. And then also in some heavyweight news, oh yeah, Tyrone Spong, he picked up a victory. He goes to 9-0 with 9 KOs. I forgot the name of the guy that he beat though, man. I forgot that guy's name. But he picked up a victory. Junior 5 picked up a victory over the last week. He had to go decision, had to grind out a decision win. I believe 5 is now 12-0. I believe he moved to 12-0. Then a few weeks ago, I don't know how I missed this, but a few weeks ago, I see Frank Warren won the purse bid for Nick Webb versus Nathan Gorman. And I believe they're going to be fighting for the English heavyweight title. That's a good fight, man. As far as prospect goes, I think it's a good fight on that level. Speaking of Tyrone Spong, I know him and Nick Webb, they were talking about a fight with each other like last year. So it's good to see Webb and Gorman in these type of fights. This is actually a fight that I said I wanted to see, Gorman versus Webb. Webb's 11-0 with the 9 knockouts, you know, 6'5", 260 pounds. I believe he's 29 years old, 28 years old. Then you got Nathan Gorman, extremely young, just turned 20. 6'3", 245 pounds. He shed some weight for that for the Akinladi fight. You know, I was surprised that I think he shed like 13 pounds for that fight. So shows that he took the fight serious and he grinded out a win over Akinladi. And Webb, his last fight, I believe, was the Andre Bugner fight. I did a post-fight video to that. And Webb can throw leather, man. He's a heavy-handed dude. He can throw some leather. His stamina, people may question that, but I see him training his ass off on his Instagram account. He's always putting up videos of him training. You know, so he is somebody that seems dedicated to the sport. Him and Gorman, man, that's a good fight. I would probably favor Gorman. I like his body work and I like the rate in which he fights at. I like the way he can dig to the body though, you know. But Webb's a dude that has heavy hands in the heavyweight division. One punch can change everything, man. But I think Gorman seems like the more technically sound fighter, although he's the younger fighter. They both turned pro in 2015. Believe Nick Webb turned pro the first quarter of 2015, and Gorman turned pro, believe December of 2015. So, but even at him being a younger guy, he seems like the more technical of the two as far as his defense, the way he can go from offense to defense, the body work, the combination punching, and the footwork. But like I said, Webb, I like when he tries to set things up with his jab, and he is a headhunter for the most part, you know. But again, one punch can change everything, man. So just some little heavyweight stuff I want to talk about, man. Oh yeah, Lucas Brown's gonna be fighting in a few days here. One of my subscribers wanted me to talk about that fight. I believe he's fighting a guy that's coming in like on a losing streak. I didn't even look the opponent up. I seen his name real quick, never recognized the guy. I seen Lucas Brown on his Instagram account going back and forth with fans where he was saying, hey, man, it's a damn tune-up fight. It's a stay busy fight. I'm not even rated by any of the sanctioning bodies. So I understand this type of fight just to get back in the ring, just to get a fight. You know what I mean? So I understand that part. I know there's some fans that don't want to see Lucas Brown because of his drug testing issues. And my thing is this: as long as you serve your suspension out and you pay your fine and you take care of all that, if you can make some money fighting, man, and the opponent agrees to fight you, then and this is what you do for a living, shit, go ahead. But as far as getting a fight in a with one of these sanctioning bodies, I'm not sure what's going on with Lucas Browne, man. As far as him, because he's not rated by anybody, so I'm not sure if after this he's going to try to, get a fight and get back into these rankings. I know the WBA, they have been pretty cool with Lucas Browne for what I've seen. After the Chigaev fight, they reinstated him after they said they believe it was unlikely that Browne intentionally or voluntarily ingested clenbuterol in a single dose, days leading up to the fight that would have gained him any advantage. So they reinstated him in the rankings and they put him in the top 5. They stripped him of the title, but then they put him back in the top 5, some months later. I believe like March 5th was the Chigaev situation. And then the first week of September, he got reinstated. And they actually ordered Browne versus Akendo and said those guys have 120 days to make a deal. And then Akendo was out of the fight. Then they put in Shannon Briggs, and then Browne ended up, I believe it was Austrian that time that he had a faulty test result or failed test for. So, I mean, I like to see Browne is like I said, man, as long as he, serves his suspensions and pays his fines or whatever, man, if one of these sanctioning bodies sanction one of his fights and it's against a viable opponent or somebody else that's rated, that's willing to fight him and sign on a contract, I still like to see Lucas Browne fight. You know what I mean? So this little stay busy fight, that's all it is, man. Just a little stay busy fight, just to get back in the ring. But according to Browne, he will be, take this fight and, go on to better things according to him. So I guess we'll see how this all plays out, man. I'm out.